Chapter 9, Part 4. Chapter 9, Part 4, Speed, Agility, Quickness. Page 331. SAQ Training Program Design Parameters. Improvement in speed, agility, MDS, and quickness. SAQ is the desired end result of a performance program for nearly every athlete. High demands placed on the central nervous system for coordination, reaction, and force production should be trained separately from other aspects of a program. SAQ training, along with other aspects of performance program, such as strength, power, and flexibility, should be integrated in a way that optimizes athletic development. A successful program is designed to create high force production at the correct time for effective, efficient movement through various methods. This improves speed of movement and overall athletic ability. Since these skills are very closely related to skills demanded during gameplay, special attention to proper technique is required. However, rest and recovery should be sufficient to avoid excessive fatigue if SAQ training is performed after. If time or athlete availability is not limited, SAQ training may occur on different days to maximize effectiveness and decrease the negative effects of fatigue. In most cases, SAQ training will need to be integrated into a single training session where attention is given to numerous, if not all factors related to athletic performance. SAQ training can be inserted as part of a progressive warm-up or as a specific station during the workout if space is available. The needs of the athlete. Every athlete has different strengths and weaknesses. These may be related to genetics, motivation, development level, or prior exposure to proper skill development. As a sports performance professional, it is essential that the specific needs of the athlete are addressed. This is done by careful initial assessment of the athlete. This may include assessment of the needs of the sport, their position, injury history, posture, criteria-based performance tests, personality assessment, etc. Once this is accomplished, the program should be designed to facilitate the proper introduction and improvement of the skills related to performance for the particular athlete. Skill development should progress based on the proficiency demonstrated by the athlete and may happen on a daily, monthly, or yearly basis. A program or schedule that is effective for one athlete may not be effective for another. A good coach constantly monitors the effectiveness of their program by observing, assessing, and communicating with each individual athlete. The needs of the sport. Different sports have different SAQ demands. The sports performance professional must understand the specific metabolic, biomechanical, and neuromuscular demands of their athlete sport. In this way, SAQ programs can be designed to accommodate the needs of the sport. For example, a study by McInnes and colleagues observed movements and exertion output by Australian League basketball players. The results show that during a 48-minute game, side-to-side shuffling movements made up 31% of the game. The results showed that during a 48-minute game, side-to-side shuffling movements made up 31% of the game. 2/3 of these movements were intense and lasted from 1 to 4 seconds. Sprints were found to last 1 to 5 seconds in duration. Average recovery between intensive bouts was found to be about 21 seconds. Other movements observed were jogging, running, and jumping. Jumping accounts for only about 41 seconds of a 48-minute game. Based on this data, a program for basketball players should observe a high amount of intensive shuffling and sprint movements, lasting about 1 to 5 seconds. Recovery between repetitions should be about 20 to 21 seconds. In program design, this is referred to as work-to-rest ratio. Each bout lasting 5 seconds with a rest time of 20 seconds would be 1 to 4 work-to-rest ratio. The goal is for the athlete to practice these activities maximally in order to apply them maximally in competition. While it is possible to modify the work-to-rest intervals during SAQ training, an attempt to achieve some metabolic overload, such training will fatigue the athlete, and the quality of the activity will be significantly decreased. The fatigued player will train slower, at a time when the goal is to get faster. In true SAQ training, the overload will be the mechanical demands to overcome, such as adding resistance or other criteria. This will improve the rate and quality of the desired movement. In addition to the general movement and energy demands of the sport, different positions in each sport require different demands for movement. For example, a baseball infielder must react quickly in a relatively small area for movement to field ground balls. An outfielder often must run 20 to 30 yards or more to catch a ball. The more a program addresses these position-specific needs, the more it will improve performance for the athlete. While sport and position-specific adaptations to a SAQ program can be helpful, many young athletes participate in a variety of sports. When designing programs for multi-sport youth, there should be a focus on general athletic development, including general skills such as coordination, movement mechanics, reaction strength, and balance. These can be a limiting factor in developing proficient SAQ. As stated before, the needs of the individual athlete are the foundation of SAQ program design. Depending on the developmental level of the athlete, the acquisition of general athletic skills may precede the need for sport-specific skill development. Proper organization and integration. Once an athlete and the demands for their sport are assessed, drills must be organized and progressed in a manner that facilitates improvement while minimizing risk of injury. SAQ in sport requires a large degree of force production and control, specific energy system utilization, and neuromuscular coordination. A program designed to improve SAQ should address these demands with drills that facilitate improvement in each one of these components. Due to the high magnitude of central nervous system control necessary for the above skills, Fatigue can influence the accuracy and effectiveness of movement. This results in the practice of poor and effective. This results in the practice of poor and ineffective movement patterns. Too often, sports performance professionals turn SAQ training into endurance training with too little rest between executions. The result is slow, continuous exercise rather than explosive, fast, and intermediate performance that is more optimal for SAQ development. Central nervous system fatigue can be minimized by performing the drills with the highest magnitude of neuromuscular demand toward the beginning of the workout, with ample recovery time. These drills are ones in which force production and speed of movement are the primary focus. Repetitions for these drills should be based on the athlete's ability to perform them correctly and at the appropriate speed. Once either is compromised, the drill is stopped. Work to rest ratio should be long enough to accommodate full or near full recovery. This facilitates repeated effective execution of the drill. If page 333, if SAQ training is performed in a separate, distinct training session, each workout should begin with addressing specific flexibility or mobility needs of the athlete with foam rolling and special mobility drills. After these needs are addressed, a dynamic warm-up is executed involving the movements and ranges of motion that will be necessary during training. The goal of this is to progressively warm up the neuromuscular system to allow for upcoming higher intensity aspects of the workout. The warm-up is then followed by appropriate technique work. This establishes and familiarizes the body with proper movement patterns for the proceeding drills. After proper movement patterns are established and rehearsed, speed of movement and reaction drills such as plyometrics, acceleration, agility, change of direction, deceleration, and other drills of this nature are implemented. As mentioned earlier, proper rest is observed to assure effective, efficient training. The program should conclude with sport-specific scenarios and drills designed to train the appropriate energy systems, including with the specific sport. These drills should address the specific movement demands of the sport. For example, soccer players may perform 30-yard sprints with a jog recovery. A ball can even be added to include game skill. Work to rest ratios for these drills should observe the work and rest times of the specific sport. Proper cool down, flexibility, and regeneration modalities are then integrated. Refer to Chap, figure 9.46 for a daily progression model, SAQ activities, and basic training. Often sports performance professionals do not have sufficient time with athletes to enable separate training sessions solely focused on SAQ. Rather, SAQ drills are mixed into a workout that includes resistance training, plyometrics, and etc. When done so, positioning of SAQ drill should be considered to allow for performance of each drill without undue fatigue. When done so, positioning of the SAQ drills should be considered to allow for performance of each drill without undue fatigue from other exercises. Placement of these drills early in the workout and at the beginning of a workout or sequence is advisable. Note that integration of SAQ training into a workout that also includes plyometric and strength exercises may be beneficial for increased muscle activation and overall athlete development, but fatigue must be managed to allow for appropriate stimulation. An SAQ program should be integrated carefully with other programs in an athlete's repertoire, such as sport skill, practice, and resistance training. SAQ drills should be performed before strength training, preferably on different days. 2 to 3 non-consecutive days are ideal for performing SAQ drills. This allows for proper regeneration of the central nervous system as well as the involved muscle tissue. The duration of SAQ drills in a workout should be about 45 to 60 minutes. This includes warm-up and cool-down. To develop an effective athlete, these drills must be present in all training mesocycles throughout the year. Although different cycles may focus on development of different skills, involvement with the sport, some aspect of SAQ training should always be present. Notice that the beginner program include a greater amount of technique drills.